On this episode of Mad Ginger Customs, we pick up a project vehicle that is way out of our wheelhouse and probably a giant mistake. I've made some bad decisions. Let's go. Good morning. We are on a side quest this weekend. I am in the truck with the trailer to get another car. Blue truck is not finished. Rambler is not finished, but when the right one comes up, you go get it. This is for my son. My son kind of got screwed out of the Trans Am. VIN plates are rotted off the thing. The floors are bad. The car is an electrical abortion. And he likes weird cars. He's been looking at, 50s and 60s Cadillacs, some Mopar stuff. And then he saw this. And, she's a sexy Swede, so that might not be your cup of tea. I don't know anything about it, but the car back in the day was an absolute rocket. My buddy built this car with his own hands. This is built, not bought. Undisclosed location. Nope, lying to you. We're at Automotive Restyling in Newington. This is Connecticut's premier customization and restoration shop. The work they do here is absolutely ridiculous. Right now they're building kit cars, and they do interiors, and they do vinyl roof replacement, they do Jeep stuff, suspension lifts, pretty much you name it, they can do it here. So what we're getting is a Saab 900. I know that's not what we do on our channel. I get it. This was Pete's personal Saab back when he was a youngster. How old were you when you had this thing, Pete?
Probably, early 20s?
Early 20s. How old are you now? 140, right? What are you now?
43.
He's 43. So 23 years ago-ish. And this thing 8 transmissions because it made in the 300 plus horsepower range. Pete says about 300, 350.
Stock with 145.
Stock with 145. That transmission was absolutely murdered, and Pete blew him up. He promises he bought the newer upgraded transmission from the 92, and it's got bigger bearings, and it's gonna survive. Unlikely. We're not gonna run the boost Pete was running. How much boost did he run? All of it. So we're gonna dial it back so Evan has something that he can have fun with, and it's a little bit more reliable. So guys, if you're in Connecticut or surrounding states, they have actually cars brought from all over the Northeast because they do such cool work. Hit up Pete here on Facebook.
That's the best way to do it.
Automotive Restyling on Facebook. So this is what we got. I'm not a Swedish meatball guy, but Pete is, or he used to be. So this is a 2.1 out of a 92. This is supposedly a running engine when it was put away. That was a long time ago. He also has a freshly put together motor he did himself, only with the finest machining, he assures me. Yes?
36 grit all the way around.
Perfect. That's all we need. So we got another block in case this one decides to eject rods. Pete assures me that every single part I would ever need will be included in this build. Nope. He's given me everything he has, guys. Pete has held on to this car for a myriad of years because he did have an emotional attachment to it, because he did a lot of the customization work himself as a young man. My son loves this car. I don't even get it, but he loves old, weird stuff, and this is definitely weird. It's a 4-door 900. It was a non-turbo car, which Pete made it a all-turbo car. And we're going to try to put that back in the car that's outside. And I'll show you that car when we load it up. JDM angles? Or is it SDM? Swedish domestic? Yeah, it's not JDM. That's Japanese. Pete got some sweet Koenigs for it, because why wouldn't you?
Off of a Mustang.
Off of a Mustang. SPG body kit that Pete customized to fit a 4-door. You're never going to see that on one of these. Ever. She's showing her age a little bit. We'll sweet patina that up. That'll be mint. But for its age, it's all here. Minus anything under the bonnet. Do they call it a bonnet in Sweden?
I guess they call it a bonnet.
It's got the dual vents. That's a single year deal, Pete said. Now, naturally, I would go, and Pete would be like, stop it. It doesn't do that. It goes this way. MSD box, non-functional. She's got a Sweet Blaster 2 coil because that was cool back in the day. And I mean, how hard could this be? It's Swedish.
Put motor in, go.
All right. It's like IKEA. You know, I'm buying an IKEA item from Pete.
You have to assemble.
You assemble it. Perfect. If this car ever goes together again, I'm sure it will. Pete's confident. Nope.
I'm confident in you.
I'm confident in me? That is misplaced, sir. In the back. Oh, we got to put seats in it. Pete had some Corbos in it that go with another vehicle. So we got to put some seats in it, but I got tons of seats. In the back here is multiple items. I see a clutch. There's a mass airflow. This is intake manifold. There are multiple cylinder heads. That's concerning. There's a nitrous bottle. Pete, there's a nitrous. Are you giving me that nitrous bottle?
You get the nitrous bottle.
Boys,
Purge all you want.
we're going to wheeze the juice in this one. All right.
It's 1.7 volts.
We are currently in the trunk. The cams on this head look mint. Maybe just a little Scotch Brite. Those look a little better. We're not using that regardless. What do we got in here?
Solid motor mount.
Solid motor mount. Probably not doing that either. Nitrous bottle. Oh my God, there's a line. Did you run the line through the car?
Yeah, there's a purge valve up front.
No dipstick tube. What is this? Is this the exhaust manifold?
Exhaust manifold.
Oh. Polishing pad. You want that back?
No, you can use it.
Oh, sweet. Sony
Hey,
CD changer.
Look how professional.
Oh my God. Just look. Pete even said we can have this Duralast battery because it's fairly new. It's from, probably, I know, that's no good. Oh my God, it's still charged. That's still charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for when you're welding it and it catches on fire.
Did you watch my international truck video? Because that's what happened. I lit it on fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you had...
I just felt attacked for a minute right there.
If you had the smallest, fire extinguisher ever made, then
Yeah.
you could, probably not put the fire out.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, that wouldn't have put my fire out. It was bad. The nitrous will help, though. I've seen that on Fast and Furious. Nas! That's so dumb.
You gonna put an ejecto seat on it, cuz?
Yeah. Pete was kind enough to donate this car to my son. I've known Pete for a while, and we were just kind of BSing in his shop, and he mentioned, he's like, I got an old welder, but it doesn't do well with sheet metal. And I said, I got welders. So what I'm gonna do is drop a couple welders with Pete. We seem to have a problem in this area here. Let's see. Oh, that just means it's working. Yeah, no, it's just letting the steam out. It's fine. No, God! Oh, yeah, that's mint. She's fine. That's good news. I can't breathe.
That happened to us with our Charger on the quad the other day.
Is a muffler gonna make it? It's close. Man, that's it. It's dead. Harbor Freight winch repair coming in hot. Hot being the operative word. Let's see if there's any wire in here. There is. Perfect.
No.
No. Dead new. Pete's helping me because we're at automotive restyling and he's restyling my winch wiring. You guys know how it is. When you got junk, it's the life you go. We made it this far. That's as far as we made it. We're getting there though.
It's like
Two of us doing this.
Not every job's a two-person job.
It is now. Perfect. See? Dead new. Let me hook this up to that. And this is high quality because it's made in China.
Let's say China. China. China.
Saying it's the best they've ever seen.
You taking pictures of it? Don't get sad. You can have it back right now.
Nope. It's going.
All right. Well, another piece of Harbor Freight's goodness. There. All right. We'll try again. Oh, it's way better. Oh no! It's got the exhaust. It's got the exhaust. I saw the exhaust drop and I'm like, oh! Now comes the part of this video that's sadness. Sadness and regret. I mean, on my part for taking this because I don't want to put it together. And then for Pete. Oh, poor Pete. Yep. Hopefully we can put this back together for Evan and should be the Swedish Missile once again. But thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
I am glad Evan's going to be looking forward to it.
Yeah, Evan's super pumped. Kind of skunked him on that Firebird. That thing was a piece of garbage. Consequently, if anybody in the Northeast wants that Firebird, I'm just gonna pull the drivetrain out of it if you need it for parts. Got T-tops. Get at me in the comments section. All right, guys, well, it's like super windy. Just lost the cover off my media mod when she crashed her mountain bike, so you might get a little wind. Anyway, behind me is the Saab. This has turned out to be not such a good idea. We didn't have an ignition key that worked. The back is just full of cylinder heads and parts. Pull forward. Oh, extra squeaky, the way we like it. Why was this a bad idea? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Pete blew this car up. The car did make a significant amount of power. You know, 350 to the wheels. It does not do well. Saabs don't do well over 300 horsepower with the transmission, not so much the engines. So Pete pulled it apart and bought, if you saw in the beginning part of this video, a 2.1 liter out of a 92, which supposedly is a big bearing transmission, motor and transmission assembly. His thought process was he was just going to dump it in here and then he could drive it. As it turns out, that's not possible. I don't know if he didn't know that or if he was going to move stuff over, but the 92 fires off a crank position sensor, and this 89 turbo setup fires off the distributor. He does not even know where the distributor is or went. I paid $450 for a used distributor because you cannot find them. Even the ones that say they are for a turbo, they're not. So I'm into this car already for probably, I don't know, 1,800 bucks. Not including the car. I didn't pay for the car. $1,800 in parts, and this is what we're at. Nothing. There's nothing in here. What I found was on the engine he had, the power steering pump was gone, and I'm like, what happened there? He said the rack is good, but the pump was bad, so he took the pump off. I bought all new hoses because I don't even know where half of them go. The reservoir's over there. It's got a little nipple on that side, something there. I don't understand any of that. That's the slave. The transmission, clutch, and everything is in the front. Here's a problem. If you see that, there's a vent right there that's probably supposed to have some type of deflector, you know, to aim away, which it doesn't. The sun beat on that master cylinder, bleached it out, destroyed it. You can buy the master underneath it, but you can't buy the reservoir. Again, here I am on eBay buying parts. Needs a steering boot on this side, not a big deal. It has an intercooler in it. I don't even know where the parts are for the headlights, to be honest with you. I haven't found them in here. Is this maybe not an ideal project? I mean, yes and no. You're like, Dave, is that your wheelhouse? I mean, technically no, because it's a Saab, but I'm very comfortable with all the fuel injection. It's all Bosch stuff. How hard could it be, right? 4 injectors, a mass airflow sensor, a couple temp sensors, and a Hall effect sensor in the distributor. How hard could it be? Let's say that. Oh my God. Let me show you the stuff I bought. We bought my daughter this beautiful KFC Cruiser, and she literally got it stuck in the mud in the yard. She's like, Dad, the car's stuck. You're gonna need to pull it out with the Jeep. Okay. As I started to learn, I bought a manual for this car, like a good one, and I started to read like what's the ignition system we have, what's the ignition system we need, meaning like what's on the 92, what's on the, you know, this distributor has nothing in it. It's just a spinning shaft, and this basically just picks the cylinder, it fires, and then over here in the front is a crank sensor, because this is a 92. This is where the clutch is. The transmission's underneath it. Over here is the engine Pete had in there, which I guess the block is good. We're going to need to swap the oil sandwich for the filter, because it does have an oil cooler in it. Evan had to take the alternator off. We did that. Pete gave me a turbo to mock up with. It doesn't have a wheel in it. Side mount intercooler we don't need. Intercooler plumbing a little bit here and there. Another valve cover. That's the compressor Evan took off. So I got a box full of parts. Random bolts, there's a sensor in there. Cam gears, some type of debauchery for engine pulling, I guess. Fuel pressure regulator. Another one maybe? Yep. Thermostat, I mean just stuff everywhere. These are injectors for a turbo. This is what needed to go on this motor. These are what I took off. These are not turbo injectors. If you're like, Dave, wow, why do you care? What's the difference? It matters because of the CC. How much CC when they open, right? Turbo injectors are usually larger CC, so you get more fuel out of them. I'm not even sure I want to run those, and I'm not sure how well they would run. We were taking the injectors out of the rail, took it with the intake on it, and the injector started to fall apart, and the cap fell into the intake. My son looks at me, he goes, what do you do now? And I'm like, well, it's a plastic cap. Maybe it'll get smashed up by the valve and pushed out. I pulled the intake off. Can't get a gasket locally. Have to order everything. This is an impossible car to get parts for. So we pulled the intake. We got all the injectors out. While we were at it, my son bought this gigantic tub of Super Clean, because this thing is just covered in oil. Because these things look like a sieve out of the valve covers. So I got a valve cover gasket. He did the best. This is just for kind of spraying it down and scrubbing it right here. But man, we're in it. So what do I buy? This is an entire silicone hose set for that car. So this should have every hose in it we need. It was, $180. Fuel injector O-rings. Hopefully they fit. Spark plug wires, oil filter. This is clamps for CV boots because, you know, the axles are in it and you pop them back in. In here, got a distributor. I got a used master cylinder from eBay. Rock Auto, this is a steering boot. I had to buy a dipstick because he couldn't find it and we didn't know where it was. Cap rotor, pulleys, belts, spark plugs, fuel filter. I have no idea if the fuel pump will run. That'll be way more money. And then we have this gigantic box. Like, this is me standing next to it. She's big. It's like 2 boxes together. Let's open this box together. I'm scared because, not that this was a crazy amount of money. I think I'm into this for $500, but what the hell does this mean? Is this like shirts or dresses? Someone has some explaining to do. Oh, it's in there, thank God. I thought I got screwed. I thought I got screwed, guys, honestly. Now, what's supposed to be in here is from our friends at Max Speeding Rods. Now, Max Speeding Rods is not sponsoring this build at all. My thought on this car was, well, we'll just put the motor in it and you can drive it, you know, naturally aspirated. But as it turns out, I don't have the right computer or the harness or anything to run it naturally aspirated. So why not do the right thing and just put it back to a turbo car off the rip? This car was not originally a turbo car. When Pete built this car back in the 2000s, early 2000s, this is a boost gauge. So this came in a kit, it's a boost gauge. This is an intercooler plumbing kit. This is 2.5-inch aluminum. Got a couple fittings, couplers. Oh yeah, lots of clamps. Now you say, Dave, that's a universal kit. What are you gonna do with that? I can proficiently weld aluminum. That is not a problem for me. Don't let me lie to you. I used to be really good at it back in the day. I don't know how good at it I am now. This is Max Speeding Rods Universal Turbo Kit. Now, if you're like, hey, I saw Dave put a turbo kit on something. It looks pretty easy. I'm just gonna buy a kit. Don't do that. You need to fully understand how a turbo system works, for one. And for 2, you need to understand things like engine management, okay? I watched Casey at Casey's Customs, love Casey, not disparaging him in any way. He turbocharged a Honda Accord and then drove it around with not a single adjustment for fuel management, engine management, you know, spark retard or anything. I was like, man, you're really looking to blow that thing up. So anyway, engine management is always key with a turbo system. That looks like a wastegate. That is a wastegate. That is a 38 millimeter wastegate. You can tell by, I know just because of this. I used to do a lot of turbo stuff back in the day. So that's your wastegate. That's what regulates your boost from your turbo. This is a blow-off valve. If you don't know what a blow-off valve does, when you build boost in your engine, when you shut your throttle plate, when you let off the gas, this lets the pressurized air out so it doesn't push back and cause your compressor wheel in your turbo to flutter back. It'll actually bend it, and it'll I don't even know if I can use this because it's mass air. Pete said he did vent to the atmosphere and there was no adverse effect. As far as I know, if you have a mass air car, you have to recirculate it, but whatever. Return fitting for the oil. This has a, this looks like a 3AN line to feed oil. It's got, this is the return line, lots of fittings. This is the oil feed fitting. I will probably put a restrictor in there, like an 063 restrictor, just because, you know, this isn't my first rodeo with turbos. Oh, this is so if you can't weld, and you would put this in line and you would bolt your blow-off valve too. We'll definitely use this because we need the flange, but maybe we put it in line and we'll weld it, or we'll just use it the way it is. It looks like it was, I mean, decently welded on. So that we need. And then this is something we will not probably use. Evan and I talked about this. Saab guys are known for having the tusks. And I'll explain to you guys what that is. Intercoolers for Saabs, for the 900s, if you used like a big one from a Vigan or something like that, the charge piping comes out of the bottom of the grill. This is just a small intercooler. Now, this we could use on anything, so we're gonna save it. We could use this in almost anything. So if we don't use this in the car, we're just gonna set this on the shelf. And then here, the Wu-Tang Whirlybird, the old Wuhan war whistle. One thing they do not include for you is a 5-bolt flange for your exhaust. And I think this is a 5-bolt. Yeah, it is. It's a 5-bolt. Now, this got the Max Speeding Rod's name on it, which is kind of cool because most of the Chinese turbos are brandless. Initially, this is what I'm concerned with. Does it have a lot of slop? Nope. She spins free. We're good. You know, all I need to do is take all of this, put that back together, put it in the car. Biting off a lot? Maybe. In my mind, not so bad. I used to do this a lot back when I was younger and I was stronger and I was thinner. Not really that much thinner, but anyway. I have struggled to get enough parts to put the thing together for you guys to get you a solid video of everything going together at one time. We're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is, this is one video. This is everything I got. What I plan on doing is I have the arc droid. I'm going to cut a head flange, turbo flange, wastegate flanges, and I'm going to build from scratch a turbo manifold for you guys. And we're going to build charge piping, and we're going to try to do every single thing we can ourselves. And I'm not farming any of this out. We're going to make it happen. I'm going to show you guys that you can do these kind of things yourself. The biggest hurdle for most people is not the mechanical assembly of a turbo kit. It's the engine management. Now, this car has a factory Saab turbo computer. I asked Pete, I says, you know, back in the day, I said, when you ran that 300 plus horsepower, what was the air fuel ratio? And he goes, Dave, we didn't know back then. We didn't even care. Oh, okay. I got to buy a wideband O2 for this so we can manage the AFRs. Hopefully it pulls timing and we do all the things right. And, you know, it's a good little car. This turbo is significantly smaller than what Pete ran. Pete ran a Super 60. This one's significantly smaller. I don't need a 350 horsepower car that blows up transmissions for Evan. He technically usually drives like a grandma. You know, if the thing can burn the tires and make turbo noises, make a couple hundred horsepower, it'll be all right. The car should make, with this turbo and this setup, probably 275 to the ground. That's gonna make the car pretty quick for what it is. Not a big heavy car. That's where I can wrap it up for now because I'm waiting on a bunch of parts. I'm gonna get the injectors put in that thing. I got to get the intake manifold back on it. We got to get the belt drive on it because that's at the firewall, so you don't want to mess with that after the fact. Figure out power steering hoses, and then we're gonna drop this thing in. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna show you that you can do it. I promise you. Project Swedish Missile, she's a go. Thanks for watching.